Climate-smart agriculture has become a pathway to development and food security, and it is now being practiced by farmers in rural areas across the country. In Lira City, for example, a group of women in Ayago Cell, Ayago Ward, Lira City East Division have taken it up amidst challenges. TND News spoke to them recently, and each of them said how much they have benefited from the new form of farming, and too, they shared their problems. Betty Omara had this to say: I plant vegetables, beans and sweet potatoes. My biggest challenge is the current dry spell, which has forced us to fetch water from the nearby stream to feed our crops. Secondly, my garden has been frequented by animals from the nearby homes. I wish we can be supported with watering cans or even small irrigation kits. These would help us a lot. In every season, I earn not less than 700,000 Ugandan shillings from what I harvest, and this helps me to meet the basic needs of my home. Another farmer, Nancy Abanya, has been successful and challenged with farming. Take a listen to what she told us. I had put my tomato seedlings in a nursery bed. Unfortunately, floods came and washed them away, and yet the cheapest you can buy a sack of tomato seedlings for planting is a shilling. So 60,000. This minus pesticides and fertilizers. After the tomato seedlings in the nursery bed were destroyed, I resorted to sukuma wiki, and I have just replanted them, although I am behind my fellow farmers. However, in the first rain, I planted tomatoes and got a huge harvest in May last year. I sold each box at shillings, 30,000 Uganda shillings. There was no money at that time. People were doing badly, and the money from the sale helped me to pay school fees for my children. My husband is a merchant. He had no money because there were no houses to be built at that time. I'm urging fellow women and those watching me that agriculture is the best, and tomatoes have ready market. My appeal is, if there is someone who can support us with seedlings, we will be very happy. I also grow maize, but it's hard. Pesticides and fertilizers are also very expensive. Now this season, I am focusing on sukuma wiki. A sack of it goes at shillings 25,000 and shillings 15,000, or even shillings 10,000 if the prices fall. There is money in sukuma wiki, and this is why I have taken it up. You can harvest it 3 times a week, and it has helped me a lot. Grace Opido is another farmer benefiting from Okole shoreline. Just like Betty and Nancy, she makes money from climate-smart agriculture. This is what she shared with us. During hot season like this one now, me and my husband collect water from this hole and sprinkle it on our cocoa and banana plantation. Drawing water from this hole is not easy, and we think if there is any well-wisher, we need pipes and sprinklers. My ambition is huge. I am planning to establish a fish pond for the future. The ambition is huge, but the motivation to do it is very low. But I believe God will answer my prayers to have a fish pond one day. I hope so. Look at this dry area. We use a watering can to keep it moist. I water it twice in a week. This is not yielding good results because it's really hot, and I think irrigation is the only hope. In this small space alone, I can earn not less than 300,000 Uganda shillings after the same amount of vegetables. After 3 weeks, I am able to harvest and head to the market. Sometimes my customers come home. In a season, I make up to shillings 1 million. Doing agriculture near the wetland has been our only hope because climate has changed. It has really changed, and for me, it is not an easy task. We have to spend. I spent close to Uganda shillings 200,000 to prepare this small area. When it comes to planting them, it costs not less than shillings 100,000. While dozens of rural farmers countrywide are yet to get support from the government through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries in partnership with NARO and Uganda National Meteorological Authority, who are implementing a 6-year climate-smart agriculture transformation project, so much is not yet done. The project aims to increase productivity, market access and resilience of select value chains in the project area. In the Laon sub-region, Oyam, Amolata and Aleptong are some of the beneficiaries. With the expectation that the project will be enrolled to meet the local demands, farmers like Florence Ojo, whose district was not selected for the project, said she is doing it her way. I farm in the wetland because of the change in climate many years ago, and it is now very difficult to practice agriculture on the highland. I plant different types of vegetables, sweet potatoes and rice. After I have harvested them, I am able to manage family needs. I have convinced myself that this is the way to go. In a year, I get between Uganda shillings 500,000 to 600,000. Unfortunately, farming in the wetland is not like doing it upland. You have to plan in a way that when it rains, it does not affect your crops. Planning is also very hard because rain comes anytime. Very hard to predict it these days. Last season, our gardens were doing very well. Unfortunately, rain came and submerged it, and we made losses. I now use a watering can to draw water from a deep hole we have dug. This water helps us to sprinkle our gardens. We are requesting those who can support us with irrigation to come as soon as possible. We are able to do so more and see that our yields or harvests get better year by year. From the stories we have heard from farmers like Betty, Nancy, Grace and Florence and many others in Ayago Cell, it's important to tell that they have embraced climate-smart agriculture and their pockets get filled every season, if not weeks or days. Nancy Atim translated this video documentary with Milton Emiakwam on camera. It was made possible with the support from Infonal and Palladium under Climate Smart Agriculture Reporting Project.